Jack and Jill Doe have been married for 9 years, but after 2 years of counseling and seeking every avenue for reconciliation, Jack and Jill have decided to get divorced. Jack isn't in a hurry to go through the legal process because, like most people, he finds the process overwhelming. Jill wants to make things formal, so she's decided to start the divorce process and file a petition for dissolution of marriage. Both Jack and Jill have lived in the state of Florida for at least 6 months prior to any divorce filings, so they have both met the residency requirement, even though Florida Statute 61.021 only requires that one person has to live in Florida for at least 6 months before filing for divorce with the clerk of court. Because things have been pretty rocky, Jack moved in with a friend who lives in Marion County, but his soon-to-be ex-wife Jill still lives in the home they own as a couple in Orange County, Florida. Since Orange County, Florida is the last place they lived together as a couple, Orange County is the most appropriate place for Jack and Jill to file for divorce. Jack and Jill each have their own cars and have agreed to keep the car each one already drives, and each has agreed to be responsible for taking over their own car payments. They also want to sell their home and split any profit from the sale. Jack and Jill have about $10,000 in credit card debt, but have agreed to split the liability for the debt, and each have agreed to pay $5,000. They also have a joint checking account with $3,500 of funds earned during the marriage, which they have agreed to split equally, each taking $1,750. While they each have individual retirement accounts, they've agreed not to seek a marital interest in the other person's retirement and will each keep the full amount of retirement they've earned during their marriage. Jack and Jill have also agreed to waive their rights to alimony from either person, even though Jack makes significantly more income than Jill. Because they don't have any children and Jill is not pregnant, issues relating to child support are not relevant in this case. Under these circumstances, Jack and Jill are great candidates for a simplified dissolution of marriage. They have agreed on how they will dispose of all of their shared property. They don't have any children. Neither of them are asking for spousal support in the form of alimony, and they don't want to go to trial or appeal their divorce. And even though they've been on better terms in the past, they are both willing to sign their divorce paperwork at the clerk of court's office and attend a final hearing together. Unfortunately, simple divorces are not so common. More often, couples parting ways disagree on many issues, especially as they relate to things like alimony, assets, liabilities, and property. And where children are involved, they often have disputes around time sharing, or what used to be called custody, and child support. The good news is that just because couples disagree in some areas, it doesn't mean divorce has to be a dogfight. It just means that if you cannot start your divorce process from a place of mutual agreement, then you have to follow different procedures to get your divorce process going. So let's take a look at Jack and Jill Doe's situation, this time with a twist. Let's say almost everything stays the same. Jack and Jill have been married 9 years. They are both Florida residents. Orange County is the proper county for filing their divorce, and they've agreed on how they want to divide things. However, in this scenario, they have 2 children, an 8-year-old boy named John and a 5-year-old girl named Jane. When there are children involved, the divorce process is a little different. Instead of following the simplified divorce process, the Doe family must now follow the more detailed and traditional divorce process, which requires different documents and different procedures. So long as Jack and Jill agree on how they will divide everything, how they will split time sharing with their children, and how much child support will be paid, they can still take the no-conflict approach to divorce and file what is called an uncontested divorce. An uncontested divorce simply means you've agreed on the terms of your divorce and you don't want to go to trial and have a judge determine how things should be handled for your family. But what if Jack and Jill don't agree on everything? What if they agree on how to divide property, but not on how to spend time with the children? Or what if Jill decides she does want alimony? Or what if they don't agree on anything. If Jack and Jill cannot agree on various topics of their divorce, they will have to take the higher conflict approach to divorce and follow what is known as the contested divorce process. Following the contested divorce process means that Jack and Jill cannot agree on all the terms of their divorce, so they want a judge to decide things for them. This process usually takes much longer than a simplified or uncontested process and will require, if you represent yourself, that you present yourself at trial before a judge and opposing counsel if the other person hires an attorney. Thankfully, just because you begin from a contested position in your divorce, it does not mean you have to stay that way. In fact, many couples begin feeling like they will never agree on anything. However, after carefully considering the financial and emotional cost of divorce, coming to a compromise becomes more realistic. So hopefully, you and your spouse can come to an agreement through mediation or some point before you reach the need for a trial. If you decide to come to an agreement with your spouse at any time during the divorce process, you can switch over to the uncontested divorce process and settle your case immediately. Just Divorce is a do-it-yourself divorce resource designed to provide you with detailed instructions for properly filling out the state-approved forms for filing divorce in the state of Florida. Using the Just Divorce program, you should be able to navigate any type of uncontested or simplified dissolution in Florida on your own, so long as your divorce is not by nature overly complex or going to trial no matter what. It is important that you understand that the Just Divorce program does not provide legal advice, and nothing in any of the video tutorial sessions should be taken as legal advice. If you are confused or uncertain about any of the decisions you are making or how those decisions will impact you personally, please consult with a licensed attorney who can address your specific needs. If you use the Just Divorce program to help you handle your divorce yourself, but your case ends up going to trial, please understand that this resource does not show you how to handle courtroom situations or represent yourself at trial. Having said that, if you decide to represent yourself in your divorce, understand you will be required to appear before a judge during the divorce process. In most cases, filing for divorce does not involve paperwork alone. You will likely need to appear before the court as well. The goal of the Jack and Jill story is to help you understand how different scenarios impact your divorce process. To determine which divorce process you should follow, use our online questionnaire, which can provide you with a suggested path. And be sure to look at our free video tutorial for completing a petition for simplified dissolution of marriage. That video will help you complete a petition for simplified dissolution of marriage if you qualify for that type of divorce, and it will give you an idea of the kind of resource that Just Divorce will be to you as you navigate your do-it-yourself divorce. If you decide to use Just Divorce to help you complete your divorce paperwork, you will hear more about the Doe family. We use their scenario as an example in filling out forms and explaining procedures. Hopefully, seeing how it applies to our fictional family will help you navigate the process more smoothly. If you're ready to find out which divorce process might best suit your needs, click the link below this video now and take the quiz that will help you determine what kind of divorce you need to file. Thank you for watching. We hope you'll make Just Divorce your do-it-yourself divorce resource.